Hi, good afternoon. I am Jay Altarejos from 2076 Panangao Channel, and we're here in PASINE, Festival of Films from the Regions. And this week's featured film is Ryanne Murcia's Entre Medio del Film, or In the Middle of an End. Ryanne is a filmmaker from Zamboanga in Mindanao. And in 2016, she made her third short film, the one that we are featuring now, In the Middle of an End, which was also nominated at the Gawad Korean in 2017. Ryanne is also the festival director of Festival de Cinepas Mindanao, which is based in Zamboanga City, Philippines. And currently a member of the National Committee on Cinema of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts as the Mindanao representative. Mga kasama, we are so proud to have with us Miss Ryanne Murcia. Hi Ryanne, good afternoon.
Hi, what's up?
Hi. Welcome. Welcome to
Yes, thank
PASINE. And
Thank you for having me, Pasine.
of course. And we're so glad to have your film. And can you tell us something about your film?
Oh gosh. Well, with all my films, it's very personal to me. I think this one is when I made this one. It comes from a deep fear of not being able to, uh, not being able to be fully a woman and not being able to give a child. It really comes from that fear because I had my ex-boyfriend and I had a discussion about that before, and we sort of drifted apart because of that too. So um, that one is really pretty personal. And aside from that, um, I it is actually my response on the issue of the BBL or the BOL at that time.
Yeah.
In 2016, there's a lot of peace talks that's happening in Zamboanga, and to be honest, it freaks me out sometimes because in 2013 we had the Zamboanga siege, and I was like within the kilometer of the siege. I could hear the siege itself, the gunfire,
Right.
some of the shouting and things like that, and it did traumatize me. But at the same time, that trauma came back to me in 2016 when I heard helicopter roving around
Yeah.
Zamboanga because there's a lot of VIPs. I was told that the president actually arrived in one of those peace talks in Zamboanga because they hold
Yeah.
it in Zamboanga City. And um, there's aside from that trauma within me, um, I find that the issue of BBL is not actually religious. Like a lot of people think that the conflict between the lands are because of the differences in culture and religion, Christians and Muslims. But actually, the way I see it, and the way I live in Zamboanga with Muslims, brothers and sisters, I don't think that's true at all. I think that um, the problem is very political, and there are Christians, friends of mine that are pro BBL at that time, and there are also anti BBL, and they're the same with my Muslim friends. They are pro, and some of
Yeah.
them are also anti BBL.
Okay.
And
Let's just define what BBL is first.
Bangsamoro Basic Law, and
Yes.
it grew to be Bangsamoro Organic Law.
Yeah.
And at that time, well, I think that it's actually very political, and so I made the film. Uh, if you notice in the film, they're fighting over the legality of having a child, and
Right.
who owns the child really? Is it
Yeah.
the girl who promised the the gay couple who cannot produce a child,
Yeah.
or is it the couple who
A
were
couple.
And
Yeah.
the same problem goes with BBL. It was
Yeah.
actually, ownership and promise. And that's, I think I rolled into that in the sense of, in the theme of ownership. And do we
Yeah.
really own something or anything at all?
Yeah.
So
I, I, I've, al- I've also I've also maintained that that is the issue in Mindanao. Really,
yes,
it's about ownership. It's about people from different areas of the Philippines going there and claiming the lands that have
yes,
belong
definitely.
to the people of Mindanao. In my
Especially
film,
in the barn
yeah,
region.
in the arm region. In my film Pink Halo Halo also, that was my
Yeah,
stand actually. That was my stand. I mean,
I actually like that film too.
thank you very much. So, and your experience is reflected in the film, and I get
Yeah,
it.
yes,
So
definitely. Because
we will be seeing that. So please invite once again our viewers to watch the film, and after that also we will be having a conversation with Manunuri Tito Valiente in our conversation.
would like to invite everyone to please watch my short film Entre Medio Delfin in the Middle of an N and the rest of the short films that are programmed in PASINE 2076 Balangao channel.
Kain? Ay, natambol. Si Danny?
Hello? Si, in half day lang yun. Si, ito yan ang bahala na DSWD.
Saan?
Si. Bye.
Laki man Pescao. Laki man Pescao.
Sofia! Beniki! Yung ba? Saka kung Sofia.
Hala. Pila kita outra vez. Deja lang si.
Con Andres, Sofia. Mandei ako mail. Ano sa'yo?
Cosa ya pasa?
Doon, naigim yung
Iya
plato.
sih. Iya sih. Ini tuh. Iya tuh Dan.
Dali! Iya!
Cosa ya pasar? Dan, ang gaya kami.
Si Noya ka mo ko saya deha. Pwede ka malaga.
Dan, wala ito dito.
Nakosa. Nakosa. Nayaman na buka ng ministera. No. No pwede yun de Ayesha.
Kahit hindi yun quiere hacer sentir duele ka ninyo. Dan,
Ya sentía ka naman duele. Kami era el mayores de ese bata, Ayesha.
Basta yun. Basta.
Cosa ya pasa?
Dan.
Andaya. Andaya, Ayesha. Andaya.
Sige.
Pero lang, Dan. Dan.
Ano yan? Sa'yo.
Dan.
Ayesha! Igaling mo kanya! Kaya ka siya. Hoy, sipag mo! Sobrang
Khalil. Khalil, basta ya. Khalil. Ay, Khalil.
Dan? Pensaba yo para ito po, ma.
Dayo-dayo frutal mangga.
Masa sih?
Piedra. Yadalis Angelica Chan. Staba na Jerusalem.
Gibira na ganili?
Si. Dakal diya pa. E hablale. Yan hilala ko na si Lord.
Patap kasi kanong head.
Si.
Nya, senata. Tapusin na yun.
Kusaya pa sa...
Dani.
Yan ay. Namumugay.
Ate sa Siana de Noche. Habla, di pa daw na triple alert.
Pirmi man.
Pinalang kita ka antes di aking kwarto abajo.
Okay na yan.
Ay, masa si Ayesha.
Antes pag ito carry baby. Hindi yun sa pwede dali contigo. Sofia. Te amo.
Kense!
Sofia.
Kabila niya. Dito natin na.
Cuando yo decidí largar de este bata, de lo mío,
Sabi niya si Angkon?
no hay pa.
Data di Omar, sabi niya?
Sí.
Di ba ya kami contigo ulit? Di ba kami siya, okay? Malo siya na bata, Ayesha. Tama ya. Entende kami. Tama ya. Entende kami.
Hi, good afternoon once again. And we are still here in PASINE with our filmmaker, Ryanne Murcia, and of course, Manunuri member Tito Valiente in conversation. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Primo. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Zamboanga.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Ipil Zamboanga Cebu, guys.
Oh, wow. How far is that from
from the
Zamboanga.
city, from
Oh,
Zamboanga City. It's just 3 hours from Zamboanga
oh,
City.
okay.
We're in the middle of the Zamboanga Peninsula.
How is it there?
It's great. Actually, I'm very glad that I was home for the pandemic because it's quite convenient here
Mhm.
than
Good
living
one. Huh?
alone in Zamboanga.
Are you teaching, Ryan?
Yes, I'm still teaching in the Ateneo. We're doing the online class.
Online, online.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So we're
Okay.
talking about your film, Entre Medio del Film.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you say, Primo? I love it. It's
You love
very
it?
seldom. Tinanong ko talaga kita pero ako una magsasalita. I love it because there's a proliferation of gay stories now, with BLs and everything, and among other things. But it's very seldom that topics about having our dreams, no? Our dreams of having families, of having children, is discussed. No?
Mm-hmm.
Bihira yun eh. Puro love lang, silusan.
Mm-hmm.
Ako, I'm guilty of that. Na puro
Oh.
ganon. No, yun. Siguro dahil iba yung views ko rin sa pagkakaroon ng anak. No? But I love that you've done something like this, Ryan.
Thank
I think it's one of the most, maybe the most complex na
Mhm.
cinema ni Ryan, no? Kasi nasubaybayan ko si Ryan from Apasol,
Mhm.
okay? And very tender ang pelikula niya eh.
Mm.
Dito may tenderness pero ang daming, ang tawag nito, ang daming
Complexities.
parang pinipiga ng mga emosyon, no? And I
Mm.
don't know where that was coming from.
Oh,
Tapos nag-iisa si Ryan, I think one of the rare filmmakers na sumasama sa pelikula niya.
yes.
Hindi walk on pero hindi walk on but a major role, no? I think doon
Yeah.
ako magsisimula, Ryan. How do you manage that at how do you decide to join your own film?
Actually, I did not decide it lightly because we were opening for audition for the role of Danny, which I played in the end.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I think I was too particular with the role of Danny because admittingly it was me. So
Oh.
I was so particular with the role of Danny, and I end up casting myself because after deliberating for like 2 months with the casting, um, the sensitivity of the role of Danny and also the strength of her role, I think is very hard to find, and
Mm.
so I ended up casting myself, and I didn't like it at first really. I was just forced because I could not also shoot the film. I needed to shoot the film already, but I could not also shoot the film risking that Danny will not be Danny in the film.
Mhm.
Mm. I'll go, if you don't mind, Ryan. I'll go into a very personal question. Uh, was that was that the point where you became Miss Ryan Murcia, or was it?
Yes,
That
actually,
was no.
Mhm.
that was the
Okay,
point.
that was the point. No.
Yeah, when I
Uh,
finally accepted that, I'm a woman. I'm not gay, but I
correct, correct.
felt I have felt it before. But the sometimes it's also a process of accepting. It doesn't mean that I was born like this, that I accepted it in the beginning. It's quite complex.
Right.
But yes, it's the turning point in my life where I finally said to myself that yeah, I'm Miss.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Paano ang Muslim community? How did they respond to it? The
Ah,
idea of a Muslim, hindi naman teen pregnancy, ano? Was
it
she a
was teen
teen
pregnancy.
teen
It
pregnancy?
was,
So
yeah.
how
Yeah.
how did they respond? Kasi in your face yun eh. Nakakita mo
Yeah,
yung
um, I think I was very lucky that people around me are very supportive, and also maybe I just didn't hear it from the conservative ones because the Muslim friends around me, even the ones that are quite conservative, they accepted it. They accepted it. They treated it as a fact, and I didn't have a problem with it.
Mhm.
I consider myself very lucky with that. But at the same time, I also get comments like concerns, mostly concerns from elder Muslims, because they say that, of course, these are not being discussed. The issue of teenage pregnancy, homosexuality in Muslim communities are they don't are sometimes maybe tolerated, but they don't discuss it openly. And I'm discussing it in my film, and there are concerns, but I did not get any any bashing or whatsoever from it. But there are silence, actually. There are also
Correct.
silence. Get
Correct,
silent
correct, correct,
treatment.
correct.
A
Ito,
lot of
when last week nag-usap kami ni Jay, ni Primo, and then I think I related to him what happened in one of the seminars na ay ginamit ko ito. Yung film mo, di ba? I told you that. And
yes, yes.
the participants were all gay male, pero walang transgender as far as I could remember. And they had one, parang may aversion sila dun sa idea ng, because they didn't see you as a gay, as a woman, no? They saw you, they pegged you as a gay male na may asawa na gustong mag-adapt ng yung anak nung magiging anak, no? And they had one word, actually very mean word para sa akin, no? Because para sa akin mean because I thought they would embrace the film. Sabi ko, mali ata ang aking audience, mali pa ang aking pelikula. Because they said, masyadong pilingera
Mm.
ang
I
ito,
also
ang
got that
character
one.
mo. Ah, you got that.
Yeah,
What can you say? What can you say to?
I think well, I'm very open to those kinds of comments because
Ah,
it may it may come across as that, but that is my truth. So what can I do? I
correct,
mean,
correct,
I'm a
correct.
filmmaker, and no matter how you see my film, I see my film differently as well. And I believe that I'm being very personal, and maybe because I'm very personal with my films, that whatever people say, I won't get affected affected negatively. I think
Right.
I'm also very open with that comment because it's actually true. But it also is true to a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially transgenders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that truth should be discussed for me. Even if they say that it's too filingera. Well, it
Definitely.
is a feeling,
E-
exactly.
Correct, correct,
exactly.
correct.
And I can relate to that because my films are very personal.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, kahit hindi naman nila sinasabi sa mga films ko, pero para sinasabi nila na, oh, parang ikaw lang naman yung nagsasalitang yan. Parang, ano,
Ah,
parang sinasabi
uh,
nila yun na parang it's very
uh,
you. And parang, ano bang hinahanap
so,
ninyo? Siyempre,
what,
filmmaker kami. Kanino bang
correct.
nakitang sasabihin namin?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kasi,
exactly. Parang,
oh,
ano, are you looking for something else? Should I look for other stories? Eh, I have my story to tell. And
uh,
it
Yes.
so happened that we are the storyteller. Lalayo pa ba kami?
correct, correct,
Parang
correct.
ganun. So, in
Exactly.
defense. Okay. Second point, that's what also wrong with the community. Sa totoo lang, we have that. We are, alam mo yun, parang we are so sometimes mean to each other. May othering. We have to face that. Sa LGBT community, may othering, especially sa transgender persons. Totoo yan. And we have to
That's
address that.
very true.
For the longest time, lagi yan. Kaya di ba nagkaroon dati ng mga paminta or whatever and parang, in the dating apps or dating, thing, sinasabi nila, no FM, no like that. And
Correct, correct.
parang, oh my God. So there's a lot to be discussed also in the community. There's a lot to be learned within the community. Kaya maganda yan na kayo Ryan, you are doing these films. Maganda yan.
Unahan ko na si Jay, si Primo sa tanong. I'm sure he's going to ask this. Kumusta naman ang leading man mo, the husband in the film?
He's taking medicine now.
Mm-hmm.
Senior Eldin Echeverria.
Where is he? In Zamboanga? Or
Yes, he's
in...
taking medicine at the Ateneo. When I met him, we actually met in a beauty contest because they invited me as judge, and then he was the host in Brand Colleges Incorporated where he worked before. He's an RN nurse, and yun, nag-host siya. And then, when I saw Eldin, amongst all the people who auditioned, I know that he should be Khalil. And I approached, actually, I did not approach him because I'm very shy.
Mhm.
So I approached the organizer after and then told them that I'm very interested to invite him for audition for Khalil. And yeah, I think I did good casting Khalil.
Anong mga naging difficulties niya sa in essaying the role na was it
Actually, he's a
difficult?
Muslim. He's
Yun na
he's a,
nga, yeah, you told
Mm.
me that. Oh.
yes.
Uh,
Actually, he the only concern that he had when I met him for dinner and then asked him about it, the only concern sa kanya is parang may butt exposure ba ako? Yun ang sabi niya. And then I explained to him that, well, I think not all indie short films or indie films in general have butt exposure. And I
Yeah.
tell you that in the script, there's no butt exposure.
Uh, uh,
I think that's the biggest misconception about, especially gay films, and no, not
yeah.
gay, especially pink films in
mhm.
Yeah.
in indies.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, and then after that, when I said na wala kang butt exposure, he welcomed the role, and then he
Mhm.
said I talked to him about how he feels about it because he's a Muslim himself.
Mhm.
Then he said that well, I discussed it with my family and my mother, and they're very welcoming about it. There are I know that there are a lot of conservative Muslims, and but living in Zamboanga for the longest time, I had no problem with me being me. So
Mhm.
I think that there's also a lot of Muslims who are open minded in discussing these things.
That's what I
Earlier,
like. Okay, that was I like
yeah.
about the film actually, yung spaces na which was provided by the film, no? Kasi
Yeah.
yung may Muslim, may hindi
Mm.
Muslim, may political, may ang dami-dami like even for example the sound of
Yes.
Yeah.
helicopter above, the siege,
Mm.
and
Mm.
hindi siya nakabalandra, but andun siya sa paligid, no? It's
Mm.
happening around kasi hindi yun ang primary concern ng pelikula. I like that. I like that kind of editing aspect ng film, no?
Thank you.
And earlier on, we were talking about her statement, no, with regards to the film, and she said like it's about identity and also about ownership, and yun nga ang ganda niyang reflection also sa nangyayaring situation sa Mindanao, no?
Mhm.
Na sabi nga ni Ryan kanina na actually it's not a religious conflict, but it's political and it's about ownership, no? And tingin mo Ryan from 2016 when you did it up now
Tagal na
2020,
pala, ano?
yeah,
Tagal.
4 years after. Yeah, 4 years after, has there been any parang change in that aspect, in the political aspect in Mindanao?
No, not at all. I find it the same. And I don't know if that's something good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it is still the same. I think that's why the film's still relevant up until now, and a lot of academe actually invite the film because up until now it's still true, and
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Actually,
both politically and well, emotionally.
mhm. Actually, when I brought this up kay Jay, itong yung film mo, I was thinking, uh, more than ever, yung transgender na phenomenon kasi mas articulated na ngayon eh, in
Yeah.
4 years. Noon medyo ano pa siya, parang nasa periphery pa siya.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos ano
That's true.
pag-uusapan. But
Mm-hmm.
so many things have happened. Like for example, our friend Jaya, no?
Yeah.
Para sa akin, Jaya is mainstream as a scholar, as a trans woman. She's there. Nasa gitna na siya. Of course, may struggle. I'm sure of that. No,
Yeah, yeah.
she could speak more about that. Pero hindi na yung parang hindi mo you speak in whispers. Parang hindi na
Yeah,
ganon eh.
that's true.
Kaya ito, parang maganda siyang nailabas uli. No? And
Mm.
I go back always to that seminar eh. Kung bakit ganon ang nangyari na I was so proud of your film and I was so proud of knowing you. Pero iba ang naging reaction. Almost, I don't know, almost violent na parang ayaw nila yun.
I totally understand that because
Ako,
there is really difference between transgender and gays
Yeah.
and all the other spectrum of the beauty of the rainbow. But yeah, because we have different
Yeah.
experiences and I mean, I experience my life and the love differently, and I'm sure they also experience it differently. And so maybe they find it a little bit filingera, but which it is actually. But I also find it true. So yeah,
although I
Mm.
go back to what Jay was saying, na the othering is also very strong, no? Among,
It
it
is
is.
also.
oh, na, uh,
Within the LGBTQ plus community, there's a lot of
oh,
understanding to do and to
To
learn.
do. Yeah, yeah. Even
ayoko,
within,
ayo,
yeah, even
sige,
within
sige, go.
the gay, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
even within that, there have been times wherein yung mga, mga, ang tawag nito, yung mga, what do you call them, mga macho or whatever,
Mm.
they were, ayaw nila ng mga FM or whatever.
Oh,
Correct, correct.
May ganon, even within. Pero, yun na nga, parang, ngayon lang natin pinag-uusapan ang mga experiences ng mga transgender persons. Pero, especially transgender women, have always been at the forefront of the battle within the community. Kasi kayo talaga yung, yung, yung mukha eh. But at the same time, di ba kayo yung mas nakikita yung difference? Nag-bihis, but at the same time, kayo rin yung napagtuunan ng bullying and mga pangungutya even before we learned of the term, even before we accepted the term. Diba? Kaya parang noon pa yan, I always go back to the historical di ba, when we go back to our history, we had babaylan ever since pa. So, ang ganda-ganda actually nung lineage eh. Tapos na dilute lang, tapos sinira na ng sinira. So, it's nice that we're talking about it now.
Let's put Ryan more on the spot, no?
Yeah.
How did the Ateneo community respond to it?
you know what? I'm very lucky to be working in the Ateneo. To be honest,
Working with the enlightened Jesuits in your school.
yes, working with the enlightened Jesuits. I mean, even our father president, Father Khalil Sanjuan, which I really love and commend because he addressed me as Miss Ryanne Murcia, and even in the
Beautiful.
letters. Even in the letters he sent me in the invitation for, I don't know, Christmas party or whatever. And then when he sees me, he addresses me as Miss Ryanne Murcia, even in his speeches sometimes when he mentions me. And so I feel like, and what I really like also with the community itself is that I have never experienced any kind or any form of bullying. To be honest, I feel very lucky to be in that
Yeah.
because
Is
I
it?
feel free because whenever there's if I want to wear a dress, I could wear a dress and I won't think twice about it because there's this university as well who 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 wanted me in their school, but then the thing is because there's different university, they wanted me to not wear skirts, for example,
All
and
in
Yeah.
Zamboanga?
I feel offended, but at the same time, I also understood because maybe they just don't understand. They're protecting their community as well.
Community.
But for me, um, I, I did feel offended and unprotected and unguarded. Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm very lucky with the Ateneo.
The
I
elephant in
also
the
did. I
room.
have a story.
I'm sorry.
I did. Sorry, I did an interview with Father Kreutz
Uh huh.
when he was in the Ateneo, and um, I didn't know that it was the interview day. I was wearing pek shorts and very low t-shirt, and I needed to do the interview. And I did the interview. It was during Ateneo Fiesta, and he was like, it didn't matter to him. He didn't even look at me. I mean, he looked at me, but he didn't look at me differently with my shorts
Yeah.
and everything. He just treated me, oh, hi, Ryan, let's do the interview and things like that. He was very casual. And I ate with the Jesuits wearing pepek shorts. And, it didn't matter to them. That's why I like them.
Those are the Jesuits we love, no?
Yes.
You were about to say something, Tito.
No, I was
Elephant in
about
the
to
room.
the elephant in the room is what do you think of the BL all around you? Kasi nauna kayo ni si Primo is a pioneer in the way. Pero hindi siya tinawag na BL, no? Pero we caught on with this thing from Thailand, and actually it's
Yeah.
older, it's yaoi, no, in the
Yeah, yeah.
Japanese sense, no? Yung apasol, I, this is outside the topic. Please send Jay your apasol para mapanood niya yung,
I will.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Kasi that one is very close to this BL
Yeah.
style, yung yearning na parang walang nangyayari, di ba?
Mm.
Yes.
Oh my ganon.
Oh, gosh. I remember that. Yeah.
And then suddenly there's the kiss, and that
It was the
resolves everything.
stages, really, of my life.
Uh,
Yeah. So what can you say about the
what can you
BL
say about
thing?
that?
I'm sorry?
Have you watched them? Have you ever watched this series? Uh,
BL?
oh,
No, I
yung
have not. But is that Boy
talaga
Band Love or
boy love ang tawag
Boy
nila.
Love?
Oh,
No, I have
we
not.
have two major thing, di ba yung the one in ABS ba yun? Yung
Oh, in I Want, Strangers, Hello Strangers,
Hello Stranger
and the Game
Game
Boys.
Boys.
I haven't
No,
Those are
I have
also,
not.
the
I
two
haven't
major.
seen any.
I've been following up on them.
Me
Pati
too.
yung
Ah,
My Day.
My Day.
Uh,
I
you
haven't
haven't
seen.
seen. So that's a statement.
It's also very weird because I rarely watch those kinds of films. But
Mm.
I find my gay friends to be more of. I don't even watch RuPaul's Drag Queen, and sometimes they coerce me to watch it because I'm part of the community, but I'm telling them that I'm quite not interested about those
Ah,
things.
at least you're a
Yeah,
woman. I mean, you have other. I
Correct.
think
I have
you
other
have.
interests, but you know, it doesn't mean that I'm gay and I would be interested with RuPaul's Drag Queen, but it's a
Yeah.
family. But
No, but
but I have to say that I like Pose because I was able to connect with one of the characters in Pose.
oh, yeah, I've watched them also. No, the interesting thing about the BL is that women, young women, are watching them
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
and rooting for the boys. No,
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Actually, para sa akin, maganda siyang sign that
di ba? Oo.
because it's all about love for them, you know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, yeah.
also get that from the younger, the I think the younger people who watch my films, especially Kasal, that
Mm.
they would root for the two characters. So parang sa kanila, parang pag-ibig lang naman yan eh. And
Oo.
even straight males, I have friends who watch my films also, na mga straight males, and nakikita nila, it's about love. And I love that.
Yeah.
Pero yun na nga ngayon pa lang tayo nagka-catch up, I think, in
Correct.
general,
Oo.
about gay love or about these topics on transgender people. Ngayon pa lang talaga tayo mas bukas.
Yeah.
So, sabi nga ni Jaya, maybe yung mga pelikula natin which have been done 4 years ago were ahead of their times. But now,
Yes.
kaya ngayon, parang hindi pa naman siya luma. Parang, di ba, pinapanood pa rin naman sila.
I see that there's growth in that because younger generation, they know it no longer is an issue for them that
Mm.
these two boys are loving each other because they appreciate love. They are no longer judgmental about the human. They are
Mm.
more concerned about the love, and they enjoy it. I think it's a form of growth in the community
Mm.
to have those. and I'm very happy to hear them tell me those stories. It's just that maybe I have other interests in watching, but I'm happy that whenever they share it to me, they're so kilig.
Mhm. Ay, what's a wonderful afternoon, Primo, no?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are we looking at? I mean, in terms of films, are you doing something, Ryan?
Correct. What's the
Yes,
next plan? What are you
Yeah.
about to do?
the next plan. Oh my God, I think I'm telling. Well, I think I'm being more honest this time with my film. It doesn't mean that I wasn't honest before, but I think um writing it for a year now, I am forced to go deeper in my experience as a transgender because I'm writing a story about a transgender and his Muslim boyfriend. I don't want to spoil, but well, the title is The Widow, and it's gonna be shot in Zamboanga. We actually have a trailer, a pitching trailer for it, and it's gonna be my first feature film. It's part of the Sovo Lab right now. Thank you. It's part of the
Mhm.
Sovo Southern Voices Lab by FDCP, and yeah, and we're planning to. My producer is Gail Osorio. We're planning to do it, and I'm taking my time. It's quite a very personal story. So yeah,
Yes. Keep on doing that, and we are so looking forward to that, di ba, Primo?
thank
I
you.
mean,
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. What an
Good to see you,
afternoon.
Ryan.
Good to see
Good
you
to
too,
see you.
Lisette.
Yeah,
Thank
And
you.
good to see you.
Thank you,
thank
Jay.
you once again. Thank you once again for allowing us to screen your films. And of course, we are looking forward to that feature film featuring another story, about transgender woman. No? Kasi kailangan
Simple
naman talaga
too.
natin. Yes, kailangan naman natin ngayon. Maraming maraming salamat. Mimo, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Jim. Maraming salamat, Ryan. See you
Maraming
again.
salamat.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe everyone,
Stay
and
safe.
lagi natin sinasabi dito sa 276 Balangao Channel, lagi tayong mangangarap at magpupunyagi para sa isang lipunang may tunay na kalayaan, pagkapantay-pantay at kaunlaran at pambansang demokrasya. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. Yay!
Ang
Tayo
pag-ibig
na
pa
po.
hihigit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila gaya ng pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Aling pag-ibig pa wala na nga wala. Walang mahalagang hindi inihandog ng may pusong mahal sa bayang